cereals, but we don't have a common term cereals. In pulses, what happens is that the focus is lost when we don't talk of a specific pulse crop or a specific agroclimatic situation. The focus is just not there. And as was mentioned by Mr. Kakkar, according to him, there was more of a problem in Kharif crops, availability of the pulses grown in Kharif season, and not so much as of those grown in the Rabi season. This is true. Actually, even in research, a person who is working on, let us say, mung beans or green gram, he can't be expected to deliver the same results as, say, in chickpea or pigeon pea. He is focused on that crop, the genetic background, how to merge it together, how to bring up the best recombinants forward, and so forth. So, even in production, mung bean, for instance, look at the diverse situations that they are grown in. They can be grown as monocrops in Kharif season, number one. They can be grown as intercrops in cotton. I think I am not transgressing the time limit. We are? Okay, I'll wind up. I'll show some pictures. But let me emphasize the points that it is important to focus on individual crops rather than take pulses as a general group. And the improvement will come when we are able to talk to the farmer, deal with the farmer. You see, as a plant breeder, I know if you want to choose the best plant, which ultimately becomes the variety, Dr. Norman Borlaug, you have all heard of him, the father of green revolution, the wheat. He says plants will whisper, they will not talk. So you have to be very close to them if you want to know what they are saying. Similarly, it is the case of the farmer. Every farmer is different. And we should be able to talk to the farmer, get the idea of what he wants. Then only it will be possible. And that is again, as I said, the PPP model will take you. We have to empower him, like, well, I'll come to that. R&D was mentioned in the morning. R&D is everybody talks about GMOs and this and that. I tell you that GMOs, whether we like it or not, last time I am sure Mr. Sardana had said from this platform that there may come a stage when people will say, we have got only these seeds. You take it or go. So like that, the situation will come. The world is moving in a direction where GMOs will, even Europe has now fallen in line. So any talk or any kind of movement that tries to block it is not the right thing. Okay, so for a PPP, I have given a model in which not only we take care of the farmer, but also his environment, his resources, because ultimately if he doesn't have water, if he doesn't have the resources in time, if he doesn't care for what can be done with the crop, then perhaps he won't be able to make much progress, and it will not be sustainable. When we talk of the farmers staying back on their land, be able to grow crops and grow in the best possible manner to get the highest yields, raise their productivity, it is just not possible without giving them all those empowering sort of status. And in that endeavor, this is one of the models that I want you to know, because many of you might be so close to the production system that you might like to perhaps put your own weight into this. Water harvesting, for instance, is one of the things without which a pulse production program cannot make much headway. Similarly, they should be mechanized, pulse threshers, dal mills, and they should have soil health programs with vermicompost, which is inexpensive, which is low cost. Organic pesticide facility, again low cost. And making use of the residues and other resources so that an extra buck is earned by them. This is one of the projects that we are running on these lines, and it has become very successful. We are trying to advise to the farmers the exposure to machines which they can use. These are different dal mills. This is another project we have got called the soil health program. You can see the tall pigeon pea crop in the background. This is a crop which is grown at a distance of about 9 feet from row to row. 9 to 10 feet. Whereas the research people are only recommending 3 feet. And it is a very heavy crop. I am sure that it will yield about 6 to 7 times the average of those of the farmers around them. The technology involved here is different. There are so many types of technologies coming up, like method of sowing, dibbling, or transplanting, with use of micro irrigation and micronutrients, IPM, INM. This is a kind of a nursery where the pigeon pea plant, which was so far only sown behind the plow, can be raised in plastic boxes and then it can be transplanted. This is another version of a nursery by a farmer who can't afford those net houses. He is using his own pigeon pea residues, the sticks and the straw, to provide the kind of shade which is needed for raising the seedlings. This is pigeon pea being grown with drip irrigation, the same kind of pigeon pea that you have seen earlier with those farmers around. And here we have mung bean in between. Now, if pigeon pea yields about 4 tons per acre or 10 tons per hectare, I am sure a farmer can afford drip irrigation. But if the technology is there, the resources are there, only then it is possible. For the farmers who have grown either soybean or mung bean in pigeon pea, they are very highly empowered. They get all their inputs back, all their expenses back by harvesting this short crop, and the rest of the thing they are able to take better care, and it's a profit for them. I'm aware of a farmer who was telling me that his 2 sons this year he will send to college because he now knows the technology that will fetch him 3 times the income that he has been getting earlier. This is another summer story that after wheat we should be able to take a catch crop of mung bean or urad bean, but here the important thing is that this is been done by no tillage. It has been sown in between the wheat rows before planting because of the moisture situation, and the farmer is able to raise the crop even before the previous crop is harvested. Similarly, for this mung bean as a catch crop after the harvest of wheat, there are so many success stories, and I have giving you only one here, in which the farmers got up to 1400 kilograms, 1400 kilograms per hectare. I think these are tremendous yields. And look at the kind of crops they are getting. Now, I don't think I should go through all these points for action because, as I said, although these points were given, the Ministry of Agriculture dismissed. They should like to consider it only next time. This is another intervention that we have done is, yes, I'll just wind up. We are trying to, in Rajasthan, lot of landscape during Rabi is barren because they are able to take only one crop in Kharif. What we are doing is that in wheat and bajra, we have introduced pigeon pea, so that when the main crop, what they are growing, is harvested, there is still a crop sown in the previous season itself. They don't have to do any sowing for Rabi, but this thing then grows during Rabi and gives them all the additional yields. And I can tell you that I have mentioned in my action plan that if Rajasthan alone, you see, Rajasthan is at number 21 position out of 26 states in pigeon pea production, and has 10 million hectares under bajra, 2 million hectares under maize. If these 1200 million hectares are used for intercultivation of pulses at the maximum, or even 2 million hectares used at the minimum for intercultivation of pigeon pea, Rajasthan will become the number 1 state for pigeon pea production in the country. And when I talked about this to the Rajasthan government, the same kind of approach was seen. In fact, we are trying to help the farmers grow their resources, and this is one of the examples of how water harvest and its recycling is being advocated to them. I have already talked about small dal mills that the farmers are doing, and they are tying up with the retail. Vermicompost is being given for reinforcing their soil health. This is another example by Rallis India Limited for black gram or urad cultivation in Tamil Nadu, which is on similar lines as I have told the PPP mode. We have been taking farmers all along. You see, farmer training, farmer meetings, excursion visits, all those are part of the story under PPP, which will help. Thank you very much. I am sorry I have overgressed the time, but I hope this is. Thank you.